Tipsters sucked me off for years.
Eat shit out of my fucking ass. Eat shit out of my fucking ass.
Shooting ropes. everybody. Yes, there's men behind me. Wait, can you hear me? Yes, hey, now, see, that's so weird. I did nothing different than what I did last time, and now this time the mic stays on. It doesn't mute itself again. Natsu was just saying birds like 2 minutes ago. Don't you lie to me once, 2 cents, you fucking bastard. I'm not muted. Or am I muted? Oh, you were muted. Okay. Yeah, I finally did the pillows up here. What else I'm going to have too, it's temporary, is a poster of Melania from Elden Ring. It's big. It's going to go across there. I have Nicolas Cage pillows. Yes, the set is a complete mess. That's kind of the point, though. You're actually going to the next Dr. Phil? The new setup is still there. That actually I'm putting up tomorrow, even with my kids here. I'm going to put up the sign that Gothi Senpai said. I also have to get an ass cushion for that chair, too. That I can't with that fucking chair. So we got that. So this set will have at least something new to it. In the meantime, like I promised, it's interim. Downstairs, I mean, you saw it. It's in pretty damn good shape. I just want to add the finishing touches to it. And I have a small penis. Well, I just did the announcement there. I'm going to probably shut it back down again. I think I'm going to do a Joe Rogan where you just post and walk away. The ass portal video. Should I still do it? Let's see. See, this is the problem that used to happen back in the day, is that we would have ideas for stuff and then like news would pop up, or, you know, or then we would spend a week on a fucking video because we actually got it in time like everyone else, and then we would get 40,000 fucking views on it. It was like we literally spent a fucking week on this thing. I'll remember that. Ass. I'm putting ass portal. You'll deal with it, YouTube. Thank you, G McFly, for gifting the membership. What's the worst console you ever bought? For me, it's the PS4. Great library, but not much of a pro console. Yeah, especially when the One X came out too. It was like there was a big difference in some of the games that ran on the One X compared to the PS4 Pro. But in terms of system, I hate to say it, and man, in terms, I'm going to go by how much I've used the system. Okay? This is going to piss some people off. I would say the Series X. Okay, well, we could say the 32X if we're going. I never even owned a 32X. I actually played a good amount of the Wii U. I think I even played more of the Virtual Boy. And it's not that the Series X is a bad system. And I'm not saying that the damage control. It's just like I could play the games anywhere else. Literally. There's not like I could play the games on PC. I played the fuck out of my 3DO for a while. I had Samurai Showdown. Oh, I'm very ready. I'm very ready for the Elden Ring DLC. Well, the thing is, I play all the games that I would play on my Series X. Yeah, I think I'm going to sell them too, man. All the games I play on my Series X, I'm just going to play on PC. What do I need their console for? the argument's starting to build for Sony too, because they're trickling their games, but they still haven't like enough of exclusive stuff on their console. Did I finish up watching DSP's Elden Ring stream? I only tuned into it for a minute. Yeah, it's just like, it's a good piece of hardware. It's a good piece of hardware, but there's just no reason to have it if you have a PC. And then you hear about Phil Spencer going, maybe we should bring Steam to the Xbox. It's like, I actually think that would be a cool idea, but it kind of reinforces my point, you know? Yes, Dr. Phil is behind me. I have a whole bunch of Nick Cage pillows behind me, too. I actually like the Atari Jack. I mean, there were some really terrible games for it. Don't get it twisted. There were really bad fucking games. I even play COD. Well, actually, I play COD on fucking integrated graphics. I'm not really back on X. All I'm going to do is announce streams. Almost tempted to go and re-shut it down right after this. It's not a bad system. I'm going to keep on saying that because it's not a bad system. It's just, for how I game, I could just play the games on PC. The last time I really sat down with the Series X was Elden Ring. Why I played that version first, I have no idea. I did. Played it on the Series X first. No, I don't use the Series S. My Series S is that little fucking cube PC. I call it the man cube. That's what I use it. That's my Series S. I know there are rumors they're coming out with a portable, but I think if they revamp the Series S, I don't know if they could fit those 20 compute units in something the same size, but they should if they could figure it out. That would be a refresh that people would be interested in. What's up, man? What's up, Quasi? But I could use Game Pass on PC. You know, PC Game Pass. So, what's up? I see people showing up now. Yeah, I always thought it was cool. The Neo Geo. What's up, Juicy Booch? Glad to see you stopping through. This tastes weird. Yeah, happy 420. Series X is a good, yeah, it's a good fear machine. That is true. That is true. Next to PC, playing Fear via backwards compatibility on the Series X is the best way to play it. If only they allowed mods for better textures, really wouldn't be that, unless you have to play with mouse and keyboard, which I know a lot of people do. You still own the AVGN movie on Blu-ray. You know what's weird is that it's almost like Tim and Eric's $1 Million movie. I still like nerd content. Yeah, it's not as good as it used to be. I'm fully aware that he's phoning it in. But it's like The Simpsons is the best way to put it. It's like, yeah, it's nowhere near as good as it used to be, but it's still good. His horse mobile game video, I have not. Yeah, I'll play Stellar Blade. Why not? Dude, I just want combat. I don't care. Titties. I don't care titties. Like, that's my true saying. I don't care about the gender of the character, the race of the character, big breasts, small breasts, nice ass, flat ass. Is the game good? I'm not playing fucking Elden Ring to think my character's sexy. I don't care. You know what I mean? It's like, oh man, my tarnished ass is sweet. You know, who creative differences? Who broke up over creative differences? Ah, you guys want that ass Portal review. Cool. My news stories, Nathan. It's good to see people here and everyone just like, it sounds like everyone took a shit, but you get my point. Like, no one's fighting. With a situation that happened the other day, the best thing, guys, to do, ignore it. Don't react to it. It's just not a big deal. You know, that's their play. That's what they do, is they rile people up, use it for content. It is what it is. That's all I'm going to say. I'm not even going to name names. You know who I'm talking about. It's funny. Said person said this was, I know they're lying and doing it on purpose, that there was a rogue mod they had in here that unbanned everybody. I'm like, yeah, that rogue mod was me. Well, you're going to have Melania behind me, too. I was just like, I know they're just being dishonest because they want their audience to think that they're the ones.
How
But
about you kiss my fucking ass and lick my balls?
maybe.
XQC donated $5.
Here we go.
Dude, you were back on Twitter, dude. Chat. Why did you reactivate your Achiant Dickers? What is that about? Chat Dickers, dude. I also got extra small C condoms for you and your Bing Bong Dickers, dude. Chat, dude. I'm gonna come. I'm a size queen. I like big Dickers, dude. Chat.
Listen, your girlfriend looks like your sister. I know it's not. I'm not really giving them flack for that, but yeah, they do look similar. Oh, man. Well, that's, yeah, dude, I just ignore. It's not a big fucking deal. It just, that shit doesn't bother me. That stuff doesn't bother me at all. You know, I have my streams up for receipts, so. Nah, I don't even, like, dude. Yeah. I'll have fun again, and I'll be streaming more regular again. I was like, oh, man. You know, I almost was like, all right, let me just take a break till Monday. But then I'm like, I'm going to have my kids here, and I'm going to be setting up more stuff downstairs. The biggest pain in the balls, like I said, is going to be getting stuff in that top corner where the arcade machine is. Because that means I'm going to have to move stuff out of there. Yeah, it's well, Scott, you know why they do it. Because they're like, all right, people are, it's, I remember trolls doing the same thing. It's like, all right, they're ignoring everything else. What will get a reaction? And they go there. You know, I mean, but that's when you're a piece of shit. That's what you do. Oh, yeah, you remembered that, Jessica, and I forgot. Yeah, my cat. Well, both my cats. Rest in peace, baby kitty. Call it Mice. Claire will sit there for like 5 hours, man. She doesn't fuck around. She will wait until that mouse... There was, within the Ashes, there was the Excite Truck for the Wii. That was a good game. My butthead impression. Isn't there a game about Phil coming to Steam? I did set mousetraps, but the cat still got it first. The cat won. RNGO, I think I missed a lot of super chats here. I know I got Dag, hey Rich, so I answered that. Thank you for being a member for over 2 years. G McFly, thank you for gifting memberships. I appreciate that. Welcome back. I'm not back. Juicy Booch, thank you. I won't make my account private because I feel like that's a fucking pussy move, but I'm just gonna post streams and then walk away. I saw a video about Andrew Ditch. I thought, but it's so disturbing how he abuses his parents. I actually wanted to watch from dreading tonight because I got a lot to say about it. Lauren Armstrong. We haven't watched that because it goes into like the nitty gritty of how fucked up he was. I'm answering all of them, dude. I just answered you, actually. Never. I just literally answered you. Hey, I bought the AVGN movie too. I wonder what happened. I bet you I could ask whatchamacallit, my network, and see if I can watch that on stream. I literally just reenacted it now to post that I'm streaming. What did Keemstar mention? I'm thinking about modding my 3DS. Don't want to spend a crap ton of money on 3DS games, plus Nintendo shut down. Yeah, so fucking mod it. Fuck them. You know what I mean? Like, you're taking away access to all this different shit, and then you're going to turn around and be a moral crusader with modding and say that piracy is illegal. So give an option for people to always have access to these games. All right, fine, you're giving them access, kind of. Remember when Nintendo had the DSi and Wii stores down for like 4 months, and even the games you bought already you didn't have access to? But if you're not going to give access to Nintendo and Sony and Microsoft's the least egregious out of the three. I literally, oh shit. I heard a noise, so thought someone opened the door and freaked out seeing him fucking behind me. I'm not even stoned. Oh my god. I literally heard a noise and I went, oh shit. What? I was like, oh man. I think I'm going to hit another can of that seltzer. It does not taste right. Oh my god. Oh wait, I bet you it's the smell from like, because it has like that new cardboardy smell. That's what I'm tasting. I'm thinking, so yeah, fucking mod it, dude. Mod your ass off. If Nintendo doesn't give a shit, why should you? What's up, Liam? How are you, man? You know what was so fucked up about the Cash Me Outside girl? Bad Baby, whatever the fuck her name is. I know, I forgot her real name. Like, literally the day she turned 18, she had like an influx of OnlyFans members. So that means that there were a bunch of fucking creepy dudes just like waiting for her to turn 18 to sign up for her OnlyFans. What a weird fucking way to get famous. Because you said, "Cash me outside" Cash me outside. How about that? You started her fucking career. I really need to fucking quit. I'm having arguments with cardboard. It literally is, though. Not the cardboard figure, but it literally is because of him that she is a multi-millionaire now. Life is weird. Oh, God. Remember when Google was shoving Google Plus down our throats? It's just weird. Like, I don't know. I don't even think she's like a... she's of legal age now, so I don't think she's, like, hot anyway. So it's like... Oh, man. I mean, she wasn't the worst. I know she probably doesn't write her own fucking lyrics, but I know she's not the worst rapper I ever heard. I'm sure she has ghostwriters. Does she even rap anymore, or is she just, like, showing off her ass on OnlyFans? How old is she now? I still feel, like, weird, though. But people gave me when Rebecca Black, who I think is hot now, but she's like, have a good one, Liam. Oh my God, Rich, she's in her mid-20s. I'm like, she's a fucking full-grown adult. Who cares? We have a video of you and your daughter on live stream with you talking about OnlyFans. Okay. What up, Dockers? I laugh 10 times more at you than DSP. Ironically or unironically? Oh, wait, man. Here, dude. I always got it right on deck for you. Of course, I don't have it. Anyway, by all means, I encourage you to call law enforcement. And I appreciate YouTube, like, telling me, because it shows that it's the first. What I don't get is you're so fucking retarded. There, I said it. Like, you can't refund super chats. Oh my God. Listen. Call the feds, call the NSA, call my local law enforcement, call CPS, call the National Guard, call the FBI, call the CIA. I will have coffee ready for them. And gelato. Yeah, you caught me red-handed stroking the horse. Oh, what happened to... Dude, this is why I hate Windows. Stop, or just leave my fucking shit alone on my desktop, man. Whatever. I'm gonna call Corn Pop. Corn Pop is a bad dude. I'm not having any coffee today, actually. Because I'm not sure how, long I will be streaming. Call the president. Oh my God. Do these, you know what it is too? I'm talking more about this thing. Like, I've been through all of this, man. I've been through it all. So just, oh, Rich, I'm gonna try to get you in trouble. Okay. Hey, Rich, what happened to you? I'm gonna send an anti-Semitic letter and say it was in your name to like a synagogue. That is literally something that happened. This shit ain't nothing to me, man. Oh, God. Oh, yeah, dude. That's why it's like, you come in here with this, it's like, oh, okay. I'm actually, with the irony is I'm not high. I could change that. Here, matter of fact, you know, the raging drug addict that I am. Wait.
Eat shit out of my fucking ass.
They thought I could stop a demon. I'm back. This shit ain't nothing to me, man. I can't find shooting ropes.
Shooting ropes.
Man, that is really tart and appley. Holy fuck. Yes, I just ate dollar store raffle tickets. Alright, so there's nothing wrong with my seltzer. This is going to sound really weird, but I'm smelling Dr. Phil. And I'm not even being funny. That's true. Yeah, it's like a tart apple, dude. There's no marijuana taste to it. So now I'm going to get stoned. But, your life, don't say that to Phil. Oh, no, wait. Someone said to Phil, you're being melodramatic, and he went on a tirade. Yeah, I would talk to Dr. Phil. Absolutely. 100%. God, it just feels, it feels good. Well, minus people trying to insinuate I'm a pedophile. That, like, no one in the chat is ripping each other's faces off. Let me put my ducks in a row first here. I put up a short today. It's just an experiment to show how you get runes in Elden Ring. Will it do good? Who knows? Shorts are also weird too, because 99% of them start off completely dead, and then you could check back, and then they'll have, I'm like, what the fuck did that happen? YouTube videos can kind of be like that too, but shorts are weird. Like, maybe because it's a different audience, I guess. Oh, dude, but that's G McFly. That's thrown around all the fucking time. That's the first thing that people call you is the P word. Pedophile. Who gives a shit? Yeah, it's different algorithms. What's funny is the short of the PS5 being fucked up from GameStop. Not fucked up. It actually was in pretty decent shape, as you saw in the video. But it being scuffed in the front got more views than the dissection of the PS5. Oh, man. Life is weird. But I gotta get... I don't know if I'm thinking now... Like, obviously, like, I'm gonna do the reviews and stuff like that. Like the portal. I actually want to use the portal. I was sent a computer to review, but it needs a BIOS update for the TPM 2.0 to work properly. But you need to be in Windows for you to update the BIOS. But I can't get into Windows because the TPM is outdated in the BIOS, and it won't let me get past the enter your PIN in the Windows setup screen. So I can't update the BIOS to make the computer run and get through the install. That's why I don't like reviewing new things. I don't. I just... Try Meta PC. Ricky Berwick doesn't like me, so that'll never happen. Sad. I like Ricky Berwick. I'm not even saying that to be sarcastic either. He has no fucking right to beg for a PC. I would have literally have sent him mine. That was not me joking. No, Phil, I would have not looked for anything in return. I don't fucking care. You didn't even have to say that I gave you the PC. You could just set it up and fucking... I don't know. Do whatever Phil's do. No, his PC actually... Well, no, he couldn't go to... DBZ, I'll get to your super chat. Right, hey, Rich, I'm going to cancel my membership. Nate said you were butt-fucking a cow in front of a preschool, so it must be true. You fucking got me. Yeah. Yes, I'm installing Rich, my suit free to Rich. Listen, call the president and have the birds scare him awake as Nick Cage and Dr. Phil argue about which cardboard cutout is better. Any sound. That's another thing I'm doing too. I'm going to set up my SP Mark 404 maybe tonight. Not sure how long I'm streaming. Not sure if I'm going to do a goal. Yeah, far in Capone and Noriega. What is Rufus? Okay. I tried, like, they had me going into the prompt. I forgot what it's called. And I was typing in, like, all this different shit to bypass it, but it did nothing. Rue-fuss. Okay, thank you. And then I'll install the BIOS updates, and then can I revert from that? Because I wanted to actually have, because I mean, apparently Windows is giving full updates still to people who even bypass the TPM, but they said eventually that's going to change. DSP looks like a lesbian every time he cosplays. No, he looks like Hillary Clinton. Wait, what's going on with Duty? Doing an AMD build with AMD 5. I have a 28 gig. You're doing a 28 gigs of RAM? What the fuck are you doing? Are you like fucking mining crypto? 128 gigs of RAM. What the fuck are you?
How about you kiss my fucking ass and lick my balls?
The Crumbside donated $5. Remember the Exposed song by Omega Loser? If you play the Wii U as undercover gay, I told you niggas gay. Exposed. He also did classics like I Don't Play the Wii, The City of Hate, I'm Flagging, I'm Snitching.
Yo, he was dope. What happened to him? He just kind of, like, people still use him for a meme like 13 years later. That's how you know you were good. When you're still used for a meme. Like, over a decade later. Like, he could have been like, yeah, everyone said Rufus. I wrote it down. Then I could update the BIOS. Hopefully they have an image of... I'll have them send me an image. Because it's like a tablet with the pen. So they're going to have very specific drivers. And I guarantee you they don't have them all on the website. Whenever there is a product like this that's specific. I'm hoping... Let's see if they gave me an answer now. back. Why would you want to buy those old Ioneos? Oh, because they're $299. I still wouldn't recommend them though. I just saw an advertisement. That's why. Yeah, I filed my taxes. Go away. Nope, they did not get back to me. Cool. I'm left to my own devices. God, I love that. I will mention that in the review too. Yeah, there's just some people who just weren't into. They just kind of lost interest, dude. That was such an elaborate troll with the KFC console. I thought that they dude, they even went down to how they what kind of mobile graphics they were using from Nvidia. What kind of Intel processor I think they even said. And here we are. It never came out. Very well done. Oh, that would have been a great video, man. You need help, you're about to order parts. Why do you need so much RAM? You're wasting money. 64 I could see. 128 gigs is just a waste of time, dude. I don't care if you had Mr. Beast money, it's still a waste of time. Unless you're like doing virtual OSs or something like that. 128 gigs is just ridiculous right now. You have it already? Oh, all right. I mean, hey, if you have the money, it ain't going to hurt. It's better to have too much RAM than not enough. There's that. I would say 16 gigs is bare minimum now. So, I'm not sure. I don't know. Does it AMD 5? I don't think it's called AMD 5. What's that chipset? I know there was, I think it was the 5000 series chips. I don't know by I think the 5000 series, I think both work with DDR5 and 4. The 7000 series chips I thought were only DDR5. But I know the 5000, I believe, work with both DDR4 and 5. I'll tell you this, with DDR5, even with integrated graphics, I could cut through 4K video editing, even on that little cube computer. So DDR5, when it comes to video editing, at least with integrated graphics, does make a difference. Now, dedicated... Well, no, this has a 2080 Ti in it, which for video editing is more than capable. And it's still a dog, but this is a first gen Threadripper, so. Damn, you're doing a 4090 build with a that's what I have. I have a 4090 paired with a 12900K. I think I have 32 gigs of DDR5 in there. Yeah, that thing just eats through everything. That thing just eats. I know I could upgrade it if I upgrade the BIOS to a 1300K. I was tempted to do the 4, but like these, I gotta give Minis Forum credit with these. They're great computers. They are great with video editing. I'm just shocked. I know I talked about it a second ago, but that's how you know integrated graphics have come a long way, because that used to be the Achilles heel. Like the processors have been on, like the CPU cores in integrated graphics have been on point for a very long time, but the or the CPU, but the integrated graphics on the CPUs have always lagged behind, and you weren't doing at least intense video editing on them. Now it's like, it ain't shit. It's amazing. That's a damn good question, Jagoba. I have no idea. I had 128 gigabytes of DDR5 RAM. Jesus Christ. I couldn't use my RAM at full speed. It caused issues with PBO, which you have to use because I have a 7950 XT. When my 7950 XT, that's a 16-core CPU, right? The CPU died? That's a rarity, John. Usually the CPU doesn't die. That's usually like the last problem. That's strange, dude. Yeah. But I've noticed with the faster RAM that it does make a difference with editing. You know, also too I mean, God, this is a first gen threader from 2017, so it's now gonna be 7 years old. So obviously architectures and technology have changed quite a bit since then. Oh, Phil was pissed off at that documentary. Wait, there's another documentary about Phil? Another one? I've put the chat on the side of the screen, and I've always done polls, and most people hate it. They're like, nah, get it off the screen. All right, I was actually going to watch the Dreading Lauren Armstrong. But let's see what Turkey Tom got going on. I'm happy with my 4090, man. I'm just gonna stick to that. Plenty of other shit I gotta spend money on. Find it amazing how everyone says that H3 is like on a downfall, and he's literally not. I wish I could have his fucking downfall. Where's Phil? I don't see Phil. Or you mean June the King? See, there's so much power, John, with the new CPU that I don't even care about overclocking. I know June the King is doing one, but that's a while from now. Phil is not happy about that. He's not happy about that in the slightest. You know, I don't know if I can. I don't know if I go watch a new. Yeah, I have in within the Ashes. I have in that little Minis Forum PC, which that's another short I'm gonna do. It has the Ryzen 7840U 8-core 16-thread chip, and it has the mobile 6650 Radeon in there for graphics, which is pretty cool. And yeah, that does great with editing. Even their integrated graphics do great with editing. So yeah, John, even though I'm not like really experienced with overclocking, I did overclock the 5960X by like 1.2 gigahertz. That was pretty, God, that made such a difference. That's a big jump. I went from like, because its stock clock was 3 gigahertz, and I upped it to 4.2. It was easy. That was really easy, man. And yeah, I had that for a long. I remember putting the 1080 in there. And then after a while, my friend helped me move back in 2019. And as a thank you, I gave him that computer because I moved on to the Threadripper. Hindsight being 2020, I think the 5960X would have aged better. Well, Capoon, I will say with that, because it was such a huge difference in the clock speed, it actually helped with editing. It actually helped with gaming. Like, there was a reason with that big of a jump. But you don't get those big jumps now. Like, it's not... And then what are you going to do to cool it if you do get those big jumps? You're going to... I mean, hey, if some people are into it, and some people just find it as a fun hobby, and if you do, that's great. I rather... It's the last thing on the planet I want to deal with is making a custom loop cooler, water cooler, and have to worry about leaks and have to worry... No, thank you. Oh, dude, I had a 1080... Did I ever have the TI? Yes, I had the TI. Listen, rip my threads. What's up, Zaylen? Oh, yeah, I have, Yeah, I want to... Dude, I'm going to sit down finally, and I have to start making music again, but I want to get downstairs set up a little more. The SP, I want to definitely learn that. But it's not even the TPM check. It's getting past that, quote unquote. But when I go to enter, is okay, now you need to enter a pin. Okay, so you hit next, and all you get is the circle. It never lets you enter the pin. Oh, we got 2 BIOS updates. Cool. I'm assuming you have a BIOS updater in your BIOS, right? Where you can update the... No, they don't. You have to update it for Windows, which I can't access. Cooling matters too. The best AI over 360 NZT from Kraken. I think I had one of those too, and they're really... It was quiet, kept my CPU cooler than any other cooler, and their software... I like the pre-made closed loops. I actually had one of those on the 5960X, which allowed me to overclock it as much as I did. Think about it, that's an insane overclock, man. People would kill, and the thing is, I know minimal about overclocking, but it was really easy to do with that chip. But that was that's a huge gain. Wish you could get, if you could still get those gains without going insane and like having to do water cool, or some people even like delid and liquid metal and all that. If you could still get gains like that in 2024, yeah, I'd be more into overclocking. Meh. The chips are so fucking powerful anyway. Like, what are you doing it for 2 extra frames? You know what I mean? But again, if it's a hobby that you enjoy, I'm not knocking it. I just lost interest in it because the chips became so fucking powerful that I just kind of didn't see the point anymore. Kind of like SLI. Remember everyone was into SLI for a while? I remember, if for some of you who are real OGs like me, remember MN12 Bird? He has the same take I do. It's like, when they were pushing SLI and AMD was pushing Crossfire, how the hell am I getting on all this? Jesus Christ, I'm just not shutting the fuck up. It was just dumb because it's like, instead of buying 2 of the same GPUs, why don't you just take the money and buy one that's more powerful? And then you would have to deal with issues because, they still have to communicate with each GPU. You would deal with micro stuttering issues. you weren't actually getting double their performance, so you were wasting a lot of energy and electricity to get, like, I think 50% out of the secondary GPU. So it wasn't efficient. Games didn't utilize it well. And I don't know. I won't move for you. I'll do this, though. Man, everyone's talking about lighting up joints. Yeah, and it was like games needed a special profile to use SLI. No. Let's not have any pedophiles behind me, please. People give me shit because I have stupid quotes from Stanley Kendall on my soundboard. Let alone having one behind. Natsu is here saying birds. He's here saying birds. Have I thought about selling beats? Yes. I have a BeatStar account. I just got to upload more shit to it. No, I was... I got a computer to review. It's actually cool because it's a tablet. And the problem is that when you get to where you're supposed to enter the pin, like in the Windows setup when you get a new computer, doesn't let you enter a fucking pin. It just goes in swirls. So, no pin for me. Yeah, like, see, I have...
Spread your cheeks and just go to town.
Me and the birds are getting baked. Should I? I just put ass portal review. I didn't even realize that. You're calling your dad. Oh, yeah, it won't let you. In Windows 11, now anyway, like, you have to enter the PIN. I am assuming that there's some... It's probably doing a check for TPM at that point. And they gave me 2 BIOS updates. Cool. I'm like, I'm sure they're going to let you do that from the BIOS itself where you could flash it, right? Right? Nah. No. No. Of course you got to do it from Windows. So it's a fucking nightmare. Well, usually Windows is... What it is telling me is that the BIOS state wasn't fully cooked yet. Oh, remember the groundbreaking ass portal? Yes, I tried the registry trick. I followed it to a T. I even, like, you have to make sure this letter is capital and this letter is capital. I went back and double checked everything and whatever the video told me to do. Yeah. It was fun. Did nothing. You sent it on Discord DM. Okay. I hope it solves it. I do. Because then I could go in, do the update. And then I could not give a shit because then it'll be updated and I don't have to worry about there being any issues with the pin. Windows 11 is fine. Like, I don't use it. Generic white Stanley. Oh, Salvatore Ganacci I would get. Salvatore Ganacci I would get. The other two, yeah. Actually, generic white male would be pretty funny. People would just deal with it. It's not that I'm advocating for what they did. They're just assholes. Yes, they're going to add ads to Windows 11. Well, it's kind of like how, yeah, Windows 11 is a Windows 10 reskin. I kind of agree. just more aggravating. It's kind of like how Vista was the rough draft of Windows 7. It's true. It's just the rough draft of Windows 7. Windows 7 did right what Vista tried to do. God, I remember, it's so dated now, but when you look back at Vista back in the day, it was like so futuristic, you know? I'm innocent.
What? No way.
It's funny. He's like one of the, there's a couple others too, or a few others, that found a way to just like completely disappear after that. A lot of the other guys, like the TCAP community, found out every little fart about him. He, from what I heard, and this is going by someone in the chat, and they could have been making it up, like he was like local to their area, and he has a lot of money, so he didn't give a fuck. Wonderful guy, isn't he? But that's what I heard. I heard that he he's like, yeah, so what? I'm just going to hide and go off the radar, and who knows? Hopefully he's never done anything else since. Usually these guys are repeat offenders. Nathan, enjoy your bong rip. Let me see if I did that, and I said it, but the thing is, bypass TPM check. It has to be written just like that. And I went back, like, let me make sure. Well, I also put it on the hardware. The hardware manufacturer should add or at least have it that the fucking BIOS has a way that you could update the BIOS from it. A lot of other manufacturers have it. Unless I'm missing it, I went through each single option. I'm like, and then I was like, I had to have missed it. They have to have a way to update the BIOS. Looked again, didn't have it. I'm like, I'm tired. I must be going out of my mind. I looked again. Because they probably assume that you would have access to Windows, which is fine, but I don't. So now what? They're probably going to end up sending me out another one. Which is fine, because I rather not have to deal with the issue. Got people quoting whatchamacallit in the chat. What are you using, Linux, John, or are you using Mac OS? I'm just shooting the shit tonight, man. Kind of enjoying shooting the shit. God, with my other setup, which you'll see again. Yeah, people were making memes like Dr. Robotnik was the back of my head. And you know what the thing with Windows 11 too, with their TPM requirements, is that it makes so much e-waste. You know how many people I know that work at businesses that have some of the fucking computers are still running Windows XP. Why? Because they don't need it to do anything else. So what do? I mean, granted, Windows XP hasn't been supported for fucking ever, but people would stay on 10 forever. I've gotten 10 to work on ancient computers. But now, you know, so if you have a computer that has Windows 10 on it, and when it's official, when do they stop support? 2025? Not that far away. I think it's 2025. What do? I mean, I'm sure a lot of companies will fucking sit there and do nothing and just not get the updates, but I never had, that's very strange that I never had a Commodore 64 with all of the technology that we had. Well, Windows 11, duty, is like barely any fucking different. That's the problem. I mean, Windows 7 was, you could say, like, towards the end with Vista, like I was saying, it was barely any different, but it was just so much more stable that it was like, wow. With Windows 11, it's just like, why do you exist? There's nothing, at least that I have come across yet. There's nothing in Windows 11 that it has offered me that Windows 10 does not. Maybe there'll be some magical feature and I'll change my tune, which could very well be the case. But as of now, nah. Animated show about this boy who has 10 sisters. That must be fucking awkward for him. It's a good show. Where is it? It's on Nick? Well, it's funny how Microsoft does that. Windows 2000 was like a rough draft of Windows XP. Windows Vista was a rough draft of Windows 7. Windows 11 is just like the bastard child that no one wanted. It's like, hey, what's a way we can make a whole bunch of computers instantly e-waste? I never used NT. I used 3.11 Windows. That's that's my first Windows computer. That was my Pentium 60. Then we went over to Windows 95. Then I went to Windows 98. I never fucked with ME, thank God. We went from 98 to 2000. Then we went to just the normal fucking the only time I tried Linux was Linux Mint. The only thing that sucked about XP is that XP with updates was a pain in the fucking balls, man. And drivers were a pain in the balls, too. Like, now drivers are fairly... God, I remember when my dad and I used to repair a whole bunch of PCs. And that was the biggest pain in the ass. We used to have this software that used to, like, pilfer the drivers. Because sometimes they were, like, especially on Dells back then, they were, like, next to impossible to find. So we had this software that would, like, find the driver and extract it. So when Windows would look for it when you reinstalled it, it would actually find the driver in that folder where it extracted the drivers from. But that was the biggest. Like, Windows XP was stable, but that was its biggest issue, was fucking, and oh my God, every time you needed to update, especially if someone had like an older, like say they gave you their disk with Windows or whatever, God, sometimes, and even if it was updated, it would still need a whole bunch of other updates. Thoughts on potential TikTok ban in 9 months? I'm indifferent. Do I think it'll actually be banned? I don't know. Probably not. Would I be shocked if it was? No. But I don't think it will be. It's not like I make my money off of there anyway, so I'm just being honest. Oh, XP was much better than Vista. Especially, like, Vista towards the end. Vista towards the end was fine. Didn't even get 11 support or not DirectX 11 support towards the end. The big selling point of Vista when it first came out, that was Crisis. It came out before Crisis, but around the same time. And if you want the DirectX 10 experience, you have to have Vista. Now, some people, of course, modders did it where Windows or DirectX 10 would work on XP, but not officially. I remember playing Crysis on a dual core AMD. That's when I first got back into PC gaming, and I had a 8600 GS with 256 megabytes of RAM. If I was lucky, 720p medium settings, if I would get around 30. And God, I remember going over, I had an 8800 GT. And I remember thinking that was fucking insane. Well, I played at 720p back then. 720p, and I was like, wow, I could play at high settings and stay above 30 when I got the 8800 GT. Megabytes per second must be in the billions. That means rotten. God, but I used the 8800 GT for a long time. Real long time. 8600 GT was a step up for mine, Jeffrey, the GS that I had. Well, yeah, and the other resolution that was... It wasn't 1080p. It was like some 16 by 10 resolution. That was a big deal back in the day. And you would see a lot of people benchmarking Crysis with like a 9800 GT, 8800 GT. Remember, then there was the... Because this is like what they were pushing the cards with Crysis. There was the 8800 Ultra. What did that have? A whopping 384 megabytes of VRAM. It was like, I forgot what the resolution, but it was always like what they benchmarked at. It wasn't the first DirectX 11 card by AMD or ATI. I don't know. Were they still ATI back then? Yeah, those were the good old days. You mean 5 minutes ago? Yes, John. Well, Steam kind of consoleized the PC gaming experience. You know, you got to realize at that time, I don't think I've told you this before, when I first got back into PC gaming, was Vista in Crysis, and it just was crashing. I'm like, if this is PC gaming, I'm good. Going back to console. Yeah, Steam is DRM. You are correct. Steam is DRM. I would get the Man Cube, the EM780. That to me is my Series S. The footage I did for me talking about Elden Ring was all 95% of it was done with integrated graphics. Well, what's weird now is that we're going into like this phase where PC gaming is getting weird again. Like, it's getting more, it's weird because it's getting more popular because now you have all these devices, whether it be the Steam Deck, ROG Ally, which are coming out with the new one, and a new Lenovo Legion Go. So we're in this weird place in terms of like almost anything can game now. I've talked about this in my videos before. So why like that? I would like that. That to me is a Series S. You could play anything pretty much you throw at it. AAA games, medium, high settings. Is the Series S more capable? Yes, of course. But it's not like such a huge... I just tried it on that EM780, which I know I don't shut the fuck up about. It's probably getting annoying. But I was playing Elden Ring and staying around 30 FPS during combat at 1440p. 1440p on integrated graphics. Yeah, I got Oh, John, you're going back to the time where I got donations for a camera. I wanted to go over to filming. Oh, God. One of my earlier on controversies. And what I did, and I showed evidence of it, I didn't think I was getting a tax return. But I got a tax return, and I showed me donating the money that I would have used for the camera to a charity. That was a long time ago. That was a long, long time ago. But I was like, hey, in the end, I didn't end up... I got a return, so I showed like, hey, I'm not just pocketing the money. Here's it going to, here it is going to a charity. That was back in 2012. That was back in 2012. Yeah, I wouldn't do something like that. I do live streams, no crowdfunding. Well, Phil is a unique man. God, that was such a long time ago. He was such an entertaining motherfucker, man. Blockbuster critic. No, I don't smoke, dude. I do not smoke. I think it is the newest version. Phil is a very unique man, you think? Yeah, Blockbuster Critic was like a different era. Remember Life in a Tent? Yeah, I'm just not I mean, hey, listen, man, if you smoke, I have no ill will towards you at all. Just I'd rather not smoke anything. You know, like I went for a walk today before I got I just vaped once, and I was with a close friend of mine. But no, I don't smoke weed. Nope. Nope, don't smoke weed. Don't drink. It's very, very rare that I'll have a drink, I should say. Very, very rare. Yeah, I got to... Well, again, they may just end up sending me another one. I'll send that one back. They could send me the new one. Yeah, I heard people do that. They, like, mix their weed with their cigarettes, but I don't smoke cigarettes either. Yeah, that was a much different time. John. Whereas now I would just... Where the hell is my phone? That's not good, in case I get a phone call or something. Whatever, I'll look later. Yeah, like, I'm not big into smoking anything. I'd rather just take an edible, calms me, and that's it. In terms of... Hey, man, I can't knock the ESP. For now, he's getting more viewership than me. Yeah, I wasn't a fan of the Delta 8 edibles. He's struggling to get 300. I mean, my streams still on normal nights get up to like 600, which is not far off from what they were anyway. Wait, what is he at? Because YouTube recommends his streams before. It looked like he was doing it right before. Oh, he's not streaming anymore. So I have no idea. And then he deletes his streams because he's strange. That's why, like, Phil used to ask for the likes to blow bubbles, which he blamed his audience for, which is amazing. And you delete your streams, so why were you asking for likes? It's not going to help your engagement. What is the difference between Delta 8, Delta 10? I'd just give me THC. I lost my audience by not doing what's expected of me. Would you like me to run around nude here? Well, that's why I'm doing, dude. I have now, and I beat Melania and the Elden Beast. Took me, God, how many times? I bet you it was like at least 50 times. Think about that, dude. It took me 50 times to beat Melania. I think at least. But I finally got the bitch by accident, in my opinion. And then Elden Beast. God, his weapon is ridiculous, or its weapon, whatever the fuck that thing is. Sword of Remembrance, I think it's called. Yeah, I'm on the... for streaming and everything else, the Threadripper is more than capable. Dr. Phil, that was funny when I heard the door bump before. I thought, I'd look at him like, what the fuck are you doing? Who are you? Yo, that looks... See, this is kind of creepy because he literally looks like, when I look back at him, like he's staring into my fucking soul. This one doesn't look like Nick Cage. I have fucking issues. Nick Cage doesn't look that bad.
How about you kiss my fucking ass and lick my balls?
Low Tier God's Lemonade Piss donated $5.
What?
Knife on the stick. Trying to get jiggy. They had found that boy alive. All of his body parts was missing. It's time to spin. Let's go get busy. Bitch, I'm hanging out the trunk. E-break and BK come through creepin'. What the fuck is 76?
I have no idea at all what you just said.
How about you kiss my fucking ass and lick my balls?
Mr. Horse donated $5.
Mr.
You
Horse.
always pull through, Rich. You got through the BBC Flame War, the Troll from Scotland, the Keemstar Beef, Big Cheese, and now the J stuff. You've had quite the ride.
Yeah, and like I'm experimenting now too. Like I put up an Elden Ring short. Then I'm gonna put up a short of like my setup downstairs. Then I'm gonna put a short up of the PS Portal. See what takes off and see what doesn't, and go from there. And in the meantime, what the fuck did you say to me, Legato? I just saw that now. And Susha, I answered you before, but he's going to destroy his controller. Without question. What did you do today, Dia? Oh, you beat the fucking Tree Sentinel. I did see that. What level were you on when you beat that? Come on, do the tuck dance like Buffalo. Bro, I would need retirement money for that because all of my channels would be shut down. I don't have... yes, I'm fat, but I don't have the built-in censorship bars like Boogie does. They had the price low. Pay off my house. But I appreciate the super... That is an infamous scene, though. That movie is so fucked, man. Let me see. Ha! I know he hates me. Turbo Express, but that's pretty funny. Well, yeah, that movie, it's fun. Dude, my mom, Izzy, my mom let me watch my movie. She'll deny it to this day, but she let me watch that movie at 10. I remember watching on a
How about you
top-loading
kiss
VCR.
my fucking ass and lick my balls?
Mr. Horse donated $5. No sir, I don't have any use for rubber nipples. Tell you what though, do you have any
Oh
rubber
my
walrus
God.
protectors? Call the police.
That is the best episode where him and Ren and Stimpy were going door to door selling rubber nipples. And they put him on the guy's knees. Money. And Mr. Horse was my favorite too, because he was like a real Chad alpha male horse. No, sir, I don't like it. Like they had him taste the kitty litter at the store. Oh, dude. Ren and Stimpy, Beavis and Butthead, Tim and Eric, which I didn't discover them until 2009, and that was thanks to Intro Guy. Tourette's Guy, again, Intro Guy introduced me to him. All, like, that's where I got my humor from. Powdered toast, man. Cling tenaciously to my buttocks. Yes, Space Madness was an amazing episode. You know what was an amazing one too? When they were fire dogs. And there was that woman with the giant ass and the ass cheeks were flapping like this as they were going down the elevator. They had Cinco, kind of like how I guess what isn't Tim and Eric's thing called Cinco too? Wait a second. There's this. Go get your log. Yeah. It's big, it's heavy, it's wood. It's log. It's better than bad. It's good. Everyone needs a log. It was Spumco. I'm sorry. That was me screwing up the name. Sorry, Tim and Eric. You weren't plagiarizing Ren and Stimpy. They are Cinco. And it was Spamco or whatever. Blamco. Blammo. It's different name. I'm an idiot. Damn, John, you don't miss a trick. Yeah, my mom, she denies it to this day, though, John. That she let me. I'm like, yeah, you let me watch Silence of the Lambs. You absolutely did. You also let me play Mortal Kombat 2 for the SNES right when it came out. You also let me get Dr. Dre's The Chronic right when it came out. Oh my God. Hey, boys, I can't do the voice right now. Happy, happy, joy, joy. That's when they had the helmet on Ren. They had the helmet on Ren, and he like couldn't control. He had to be happy, and then he finally got some control of himself and smashed it off and started beating the shit out of Stimpy. Yeah, I'll teach you to be happy. And he broke it off and beat the fucking shit out of him. Those are the good old days, man. I'm almost done with Fear, and I'm also playing. Why am I just talking? I actually had plans. We were going to watch The Dreading Lauren Armstrong, but I'm kind of enjoying talking. I've been like very stressed out lately for reasons. And that, like, I'll go, like, Tim and Eric have these awesome things. They've been up for a couple years.
How about
where
you
they're
kiss
like
my fucking ass and
viewing
lick my
sessions.
balls?
I love them.
Demonic Devroslog Lover donated $15. Rich, started watching you and the breast takes on DSP I have heard since it's a Gundam. I hear you are horse. Do you even horse around with Nicolas Cage?
Dude, you can't see him yet. I don't even know, because I'm getting a poster of Melania from Elden Ring to put across here. In between the men. That is really fucking creeping me out. That might be the weed. Like, the thing is, too, the print of Nicolas Cage is a darker color, so it doesn't fuck with your heads because it doesn't look real. This looks like this motherfucker's standing right behind me and he's about to butt fuck me. Yeah, it's the weed kicking in now. Cutter, that was the skit that intro that guy. It was New Year's Eve 2008. It was at midnight. It would have been 2009. Is that New Year's Eve 2009? Is that how it technically goes? And I had pneumonia. I didn't even realize it yet. And I'll get to the 2 super chats in a second. An intro guy was like, "Yeah, you got to watch this weird ass shit, man." And he put on the vodka commercial. And I was like, this is the weirdest. Like, I can't believe people, like, this is my humor. Like, people actually make money. Everyone, because you're told your whole life that your humor is fucking, I'll say it again, retarded. And then it's like, wait a second, there's other people like me. Kind of what I thought with Tourette's guy, too. It's like, wait a second. Just Three Boys is amazing, but it's like gone everywhere. Like, hey, Tim, I'll pay you to watch it. Like, where can I buy that? I've watched it 1,000 times, but I'll pay you to watch it 1,000 more. Tell me where. I've looked, can't find it. Oh, you're very welcome, Jeremiah. I actually made a video with Billy West at a con. Remember there was this Genesis in your Game Boy temper tantrum? No, I don't remember the temper tantrum. Oh, yes. When I was pissed off because my friend got a Game Boy and I couldn't. I watched Rocco's Modern Life.
How about you kiss
Doug.
my fucking ass and lick my balls?
Remember Doug?
Amico donated $5. You may be
Amico.
familiar with a cartridge, Tommy. This is a cartridge. This is a system. This is what you can do with an Evercade. They win, you lose. You blew it.
So true. So fucking true, dude. And it's funny because the Evercade when did the Evercade first release? It was during the pandemic. Because that's what Tommy hid behind before everyone knew he was a super... we already knew that he was fucking up. But, oh yeah, the pandemic, we can't get parts. Oh yeah, the pandemic. But I'm like, wait a second, dude. How are these companies that are smaller than you, in theory, doing it and you can't? God. Well, he's selling his house. Oh, the gaming racist. Rich, review my ass. Sue, stop harassing me. It's unacceptable in 2024. My intro guy impression sounds like Seth Rogen. Well, he doesn't even sound like that either. That actually came from like a meme. Well, it's not a meme if only 2 people know about it, but me and my friend Mike, because Matt used to be way more, or intro guy, used to be way more like nervous, and everything he said was kind of like this, man. He doesn't do that anymore. But that's just when we talk about him, that's how we refer to him. Mr. Dink. Who is the fuck is Mr. Dink? Well, that was the thing. Like, yes, I always go back, and I should have been more, I should have given him more pushback. But I think Tommy, like I've said this before, ages ago, by design, Tommy doesn't shut the fuck up. So he won't give you an opportunity to ask him a tough question. And because he doesn't shut the fuck up, it's like, all right, the less I talk, the quicker. Like, he could have been like, listen, man, I shit cotton candy, and I would have been like, all right, that's great. Not saying I should have done that, but that's what I did. Double income, no kids. Remember the Nightmare on Elm Street game? That was shit. Yeah, he was a fucking literally a child rapist, wasn't he? The guy who created Ren and Stimpy, John K. It kills me because it's like, I think I'm kind of one of those guys who like, yeah, separate the art from the artist. It's a little easier with a cartoon because the cartoon isn't necessarily the person, you know? Yeah, he was really weird, man. He was like, I'm not going to say it. Anyway, Darkman NES game. Why does that ring a bell? You know what was funny is that the guy, I forgot his name, John Hardwick just mentioned it. Billy West, when he took over for doing Ren's voice, he did a really good job. I mean, you heard a little bit of a difference, but it wasn't like stark. Like, if you didn't know that Billy West took over and it was just business as usual, you wouldn't really bat an eye. No, I think Billy West was the voice of Doug, wasn't he, too? Why am I remembering all this shit? Where is this all coming from? How did we get here? I think he did the voice of Doug. Yeah, I'm still retired from Twitter. It's not me going back to it. You'll just see me posting like the link to here or a link to a video. My biggest thing was not that I wanted to get, there's people I have to DM. Like business were like, oh shit, I probably should have gotten contact information. Then I'm probably going to shut it down again. I hear the Fallout 4 show is good. Or not Fallout 4, Jesus Christ. They remastered Fallout 4 for next-gen consoles because of the show. I missed a few Superbirds. Your intro guy, so yes, I sound like Seth Rogen, which is kind of true. Ren and Stimpy it's a shame that I did answer. John K. fucked it up. Lyoko, did I miss something? Remember when... Yes, I did. When Adent super chatted Phil that he was going to be in his town, and yes, and he made it like it was a threat. Like, dude, you could find my address in like 30 seconds. If someone said, "Yo, Rich, I'm coming to Dutchess County or Wappingers," it's like, okay, it's a city. Good luck, dude. Literally, the first month that I started full-timing YouTube, someone found out my address because I put up like Mike Pence. What I always ask this, I never remember what state was he the governor of? Where the Sharpie is outside my house. Indiana. Anyway, it ties into my story. And I was like, he had some like, oh, it's a religious rights law. So if there's a gay couple that comes in and that's against the owner's religion, they don't have to serve them. I'm like, oh, fuck you. And I put up this video calling it out. And like, of course, even back then, this is before everyone lost their minds fucking completely though. It still pissed people off. Like, hey, gay people scare me because reasons. And someone found out my address and pretended to be coming here. Look, hey, I heard a guy named Rich at ReviewTechUSA has a TV for me. It's like, what? I don't have any fucking TV for you. Go home. So, like, that's why when people are like, hey, we're going to do this, and we're going to do that, it's like, okay. It's like, oh, again? That's cool. Been there, done that. I used to. Now I don't give a fuck. But I used to take down videos if I saw the dislikes going up. God, that was so stupid. Now, if a video is fucked now in terms of like, in 10 minutes it gets 2 views, that means that YouTube fucked up sending it out, like sending out the notification. So then I'll delete the video and re-upload it. And it works. It's a weird bug with YouTube. For any of you who upload videos, and if you're like, wait, those views are way below average, even on a video no one cares about, no one saw it anyway, delete it and re-upload it, and 95% of the time that fixes the issue. I don't know what happens with YouTube where it fucks up, but it'll fix it. And the 5% of the time it doesn't, people just think your video is fucking boring. Why I don't live in NYC? Because it's expensive. It's expensive where I live, an hour and change from NYC, because I'm only an hour and change away from NYC. If I lived in NY, I couldn't afford to live in New York City. At least now. So that was 2013 where someone showed up to my house. So it was like, when all these people now are like, I'm going to do this. I'm going to, like, I've had all the shit called on me. I've had all the, like, it's whoopee. Now, when I was younger, I used to want to live in New York City. It's too crazy. If I had, like, that kind of money, I would just, like, for the hell of it, buy, like, a mini condo down there. Just to, because I would like to be there, like, maybe during, like, the summer. But I ain't rocking money like that, so. Train, Andrew. It would be like an hour and a half to be precise. If I took a train, be a couple hours, like 2.5 hours driving. Well, actually, with city traffic, longer than that, because fuck, it could take you an hour to go a block in the city. No, Metro North. Metro North. I love that there's a certain energy from New York City. I do love that energy. It's an energy that you can. I've been to California. I've been to Canada. I've been to Florida. I haven't been around the world. Eventually. There's an energy you get from New York City you don't get anywhere else. And I do enjoy that. But would I want to live there? No. If I had that kind of money, I'd have like maybe like a nice small condo that I owned. I don't have that kind of money. Even buying a nice small condo in New York City, you're looking at probably a fucking couple million. Let's keep it real. Yeah, the NYC vibe is banging. The NYC vibe is real, man. I do have kids. That's another reason why I wouldn't want to live in the city. NYC is banging to visit. If I, like I said, Izzy, if I had the money, I would do like a summer home, you know? But, or like a summer condo where there's no maintenance. I don't want to have a fucking another home where I have to deal with shit. And that would be cool. I could like bring the kids down there and go to the city and then for a month and then come back home. But yeah, no, I ain't rocking like that. Yeah, that's New York City. They take shits anyway. I just like the energy that you get from all the different cultures in New York City and stuff like that. It's cool. I like having a lawn too, but if I was in a position, I'm not, to buy a secondary place, that would, and if I was rolling with that kind of money, yeah, that would be nice. But I'm not. I'm happy with the home that I own, and I'm good. Well, I do, man. New York City just has an energy to it, but there was a time I would love to have lived there. Like I said, in my 20s, but now it's, I can handle the city, but it's just like, I'm not going to go out and party. You know what I mean? It's just not my fucking thing. It is anxiety inducing. I used to go down there to acting classes. I used to go down there to music shows. Won or placed in one. Sorry, I don't want to be Phil. Was I second or third? Third. Let's just say third. Placed in a music competition. That was a long time ago. Met Justina there. If you watch MTV, you know Justina. That was when she was coming up. She was there. She was hot, and she was there with a bunch of hot friends. Every woman that was around her was at least an 8. I was like, damn. She gave me, see, she's on that pop shit now, but she was rapping over Alchemist beats back in the day. She could spit. No, didn't spit game. I was the whole business with that shit. It's treating me good, man. I don't know if you see. You're not really going to see him. I got to set him up different, but I was packing pillow. Here, there's my menagerie of... That is such shit. That's the point. I love it. When I place a record, I'll flex. I wouldn't flex about third place. I mean, it was exciting. They like filmed me. Like, wow, the first competition I did, I placed, you know? So that was a rush. How's my dating life? My relationship with my hand is great. And you know what? I'm okay with that. It's stress-free. Wait, another man set himself on fire? Like, we're the same place? Stop it. Come on. It's not just one dude? What is going on, man? Oh, phone booths were everywhere, dude. Yeah, I remember phone booths very well. Well, the thing is, man, is that, like, have there been women that have been interested? Yes, but it's like, they're fucking crazy. Like, I don't need titties in my face. I'd rather wait for titties connected to someone that's fucking sane. What's up, Mari? Yeah, I'll just start going for men's asses. Let's go.
「君の声が聞こえる」
God, remember? Yeah, Redbox. Well, if you remember it too, Sue. Redbox and Netflix. Netflix actually wasn't Netflix. It used to rent. You used to rent DVDs and I believe games. Well, there was GameFly. Is GameFly still around? I saw them fairly recently. I mean, eventually, I'm just not interested in being in a relationship right now. I'm just not. I got so much other shit on my plate. And going out on dates is like a fucking job. I have no... Yeah, GameFly. I actually used to use GameFly back in 2010. Yeah, it's kind of bad, man. I like being single. It sucks. Could someone make me not like being single? Oh, God. The man who himself on fire was from Florida. That's a shocker. He had an insane conspiracy that the entire was a Ponzi scheme, and the symptoms was predictive. He was truly insane. Yeah, how many more people are truly insane like him? And if, even though I don't think he's going to, if Trump loses in November, even though, again, I don't think he's going to. Thought you were married, Duty. People always say that about me, too, and it's not true. I never was married. Like, if I, like, joke with a woman on Twitter, aren't you married? No. I'm not even with my kid's mom anymore. Oh, I do follow your TikTok. Yeah, dude, it's like a fucking... What do you do for work? I do nothing. Do you have kids? Yeah, like, it's like, I don't really. Is this a job interview? What the fuck is going on? No, I wear this hoodie a lot. I wash and wear it a lot. Yes, I'm showered. I don't smell like taint. So no, Renton, you were accurate. I wear this and another gray one. I hear that Trump is much less orange in person. Yeah, I just wash. I shower only once a year, so I have an infected penis, just like Cyrax. You're married but single. I can relate. Yes, but not in D.C. It happened in New York, I think, outside tremendous Trump trial courthouse. What do you think about Cillian Murphy for Far Cry 7? I haven't given a fuck about Far Cry since 3. I tried 6. I got over it. And that was... 5 was okay. I played more of 5. I liked 5 better than 6. I like 5 better than 4, to be honest with you. I didn't like 4. I always got to that one spot, and then it was just like, eh. The problem is the gunplay in Far Cry games is just serviceable, and I'm looking for more than that. It can't... We're beyond the days of just serviceable gunplay. Blood Dragon was good. Yes. Far Cry 3, Blood Dragon, like them both. Yes. I agree with that. Like, I thinking back to, like, imagine lighting yourself on fire for another human being. It's a 20. I remember when I used the date. I got that, and also 100 creepy messages. Oh yeah, that's all I hear, Maury, is unwanted dick pics. I remember there was this girl on Twitter. I don't know. She said something about a strap-on. And I quote tweeted her. I was like, oh, I never had one in my ass. I was totally joking, too. I don't want a strap-on in my ass. But if you're willing, man, let's go. Obviously joking. She blocks me instantly. Why? Because I'm sure there are guys that go in her DMs and literally mean that. So they just like, not you're blocked. Oh, first-person games give you motion sickness now? Have you noticed with different... does a lower or higher frame rate help or hurt it? DB, I just don't want any violence, man. That's what my concern is. Yeah, she blocked me. I'm like, I'm quote tweeting you. I'm not serious. Anyway, welcome to the internet again. Well, I always bring up, remember that woman who freaked out just because she was like a family mom streamer and I followed her. Literally, that's all I did was follow her. Nothing else. She's like, why would you follow me? I don't know. You're just a gaming streamer and I followed you. It's weird. Your stuff is weird. You can't follow. And she blocked me because I followed her. No other correspondence. Okay. Thank you. I have a creepy vibe. I appreciate it. I grew up in the same town as the Craigslist killer. Did you really? Which one? Isn't there more than one? Well, didn't Biden say something stupid like one of his relatives were eaten by cannibals? Like, why would you say something that someone can... Like, during some war... What was it, World War II? It's like, what are you doing, man? Why make up shit that people could debunk? Anything can be debunked. Well, lies can be put out everywhere, too, as well. Ordering sense on the Zoom link. But, yeah, so he could send it out to on Twitter. Well, we have two geriatric men as our choices for president. Think about that, dude. What a fucking joke. You really like expensive cheese. Oh, you're like the North Korean dictator. He gets like... His people are starving and he's like importing cheese, like high-end cheese from like different countries. Trump has been shitting himself in court. Stop it. I agree there should be an age limit. 100%. He's shitting. Dude, these old men presidents got to stop. What is he going to be fucking sitting in the Oval Office wearing Depends? I mean, I know Franklin Delano Roosevelt, he had, what did he have? But that's different. He doesn't wipe well, dude. Oh, Mike, he needs D-pants. Sue, he needs D-pants. Dude, if he's really... like, this got to stop. He had polio, yes, there you go. And it You disagree? Why? I that's not me. That's not partisan shit. I don't care if you're Republican, Democrat. I do feel for the president. There should, I mean, they have an age limit to, you have to be 35 plus to be president. They have an age, they have a start off age. Why can't there be an age limit? I think it's kind of ridiculous. It's like, dude, they're tracking us on everything.
How about you kiss my fucking ass and lick my balls?
Telltale EEE donated $5. Hey Rich, just wanted to let you know that I'm taking a break from any online presence for a little bit. Something personal came up and I need to take care of myself. I appreciate all the breast-filled streams and I hope to be back soon.
Yeah, dude, take care of yourself. That's number one, man. Seriously. Trust me, I can relate in more ways than you realize. What do I think about here? First off, spam sounds.
Definitely play games. Right up my ass, baby. I love it.
What? No. Wait. Like that worked out too well. I got to do it again. Why would Dr. Phil not be in the background? So yeah, man, take care. I know what it's like, dude. More than you realize. Yeah, your personal, mental, and physical health is most important.
Woo! Right up my ass, baby. I love it.
Oh, dear God, that's fantastic. That's great. Dude, Mitch McConnell, he's literally blue screening. The guy needs to go. Twice he did it. Twice. Yeah. And he just froze, and they're like, Senator McConnell, what do you... All right, he's frozen. He is frozen solid. He was just buffering, yeah. Chase, what do you think? For me, I didn't know much about him besides the accusations. I mean, look, I understand you need less evidence or not as strong of a case in a civil, but he lost the civil case. And didn't he kind of indirectly admit a couple times that he did it? So come on, man. You got to press his button so he can Dude, it was so like, why? Like, he's not in shape to be. And that's the thing, is that look at Nancy Pelosi too. How fucking old is she? They don't want to give up power is what it is. They don't want to give up power. Give up the fucking power, you old fucks. I don't. Dude, those things probably fucking hang to a different... Like, she could be on the 10th story. She takes off her bra, her tits go to the 9th. Yeah, she left. She did, but she was around for... Oh, yeah, she's no longer in Congress. But she was there for a long-ass time. Same with McConnell, man. There's pictures of fucking McConnell sitting there shooting the shit with Reagan. Like, he's sitting there like, dude, it's time. He does look like a turtle. Yeah, Rapunzel. You could use her breasts. Like, if you were falling from a building, you could use her breasts to climb up. Well, isn't there some law that's out now that if you committed a felony, you can't make a book and profit off of it? I mean, it just to me isn't... I know, dude, you don't agree, but Biden's, what is he, 81? He's 81 years, and you're going to go for re-election, dude. You can't even walk. You can't even talk. Oh, God. Yeah, 81, and you're going to go for another 4 years of what people say is the toughest job in the world? Come on, man. Yeah, the White House is a fucking nursing home. Even wolves don't let the elderly. Sleepy Joe's only good at sleep. Vote for me and I'll shit my pants in 2024. Well, the thing is, if someone was going to take the place of Biden instead of him trying to go for a second term, now it's too late. Who are you going to get to get the campaign marketing money behind and all that shit at this late stage? You can't. If he was going to step aside, he should have stepped aside in like 22. People who are the same age as my grandpa should be making decisions about our country. This should be common sense. Don't care if you're Republican or Democrat. I mean, I'm not saying they have to be fucking 30, but like, yeah, a cutoff of like 70. I love Christmas time and Halloween. Mom's cooking. I can't think of the rest. Yeah, but dude, he had some kind of, what did he have, they say? They probably won't tell you the truth about what he had. Because here's the thing, the donors love having those old fucks in there because they just do their bidding. They rather keep them there and weekend at Bernie's them than have an actual candidate. Because the one they're like, all right, this guy will play ball. I'll just give him campaign contributions. Lobby them and I'll get what I want. Who cares? They could barely talk. Yeah, dude, I watched, because when I was getting my ass beat by Melania, I watched Let Me Solo Her. That dude is fucking, just how he gets around there's a name for it, it's waterfowl, I think, is that attack that Melania does. And he just like walks around it like it ain't shit. I'm just like, how are you doing that? The waterfowl dance, thank you. And Let Me Solo Her is just like, nothing. Yeah, it's nuts, man. Well, I read up, they are right, Tox. It's waterfowl, like FOWL. And you always have to remember, once she's done, there's that last big attack that she does. But watching, he deserves the accolade. She is a tough boss, man. Holy shit. Like I said, the first couple times I went to her, because of course I wasn't recording, I got her in the first couple tries each time. This time, of course, because I was recording, it took me 8,000 times. It's pretty nuts. Yeah, she doesn't. I got lucky. She was about to body me again, Seth Nico. She was about to in the Godslayer sword, I think it's called. Has like a black flame as its secondary attack. Like, it went back up and hit her as I think she was about to do the waterfowl dance in this second phase, which is even worse. And just as she was about to start, my sword hit her and she was dead. Because if she did that, I would have died again. But I beat her. I beat that bitch 3 fucking times, man. Yes, I used the Mimic here, but the Mimic did fuck all finally when I beat her the 3rd time after dying to her 1 billion times. And in my opinion, even though she's an optional boss, she's not. I don't think she's optional. I think to experience the game. First off, not the Erd tree, the Howling tree. I love the area. It's beautiful. I feel like you're missing a good portion of the game. If you miss there. If you've beaten Elden Ring and haven't gotten to the Howling tree, I highly recommend it. It's a beautiful area, great music. It's tough as fucking hell. Tough as hell. Well, Jostler, fuck you. I kind of how I feel with the Nameless King. I heard the Nameless King is a fucking... I am going to play other Souls games, so... Let me get the... Oh, the music in Lindell is beautiful, too. Lindell Royal Capital. Love it. Some of the nights there. Like, I'd love to go to New Game Plus, but then I would have to do everything. I want to leave it open so when the DLC comes out. Yeah, dude, like, I'm just done with fighting. I'm just tired. I'd rather work on projects. Do experiments, experiment with shorts. Panel size queens in the chat.
I'm a size queen.
I came on here with Plant Snipe, but here I am just talking, and I'm okay with it. Yeah, I would like to start. Ideally, I would like to start with Bloodborne, but. Let me one project at a time. I did put up a short today. Very exciting. Well, I like, as a Castlevania guy, I'm used to multiple phases. At least at Dracula. Some other bosses, I think, had multiple phases too. Yes, I could think of a couple. So I'm used to the multiple phase thing. Well, Dracula in Castlevania 2 is a joke. Castlevania 1, multiple phases. The second phase is a fucking nightmare. God, Death in Castlevania 1 on the NES is like, Millennia. It was like the 8-bit version of Millennia. Shorts be ready. No, I already have. I just put up a short. I'm going to have another short of my desk set up downstairs. What happened with Evil Nutrition? I even want to play Dark Souls too. I know it's considered like the bastard child out of the Dark Souls games, but Soulsborne, I should say. Dude, Castlevania, Death in Castle, and then, see, this is probably why I like the Souls games, because they fuck you up like Castlevania. Before you get to death, so then you die each time, and then you have those knights who actually have more HP than you. We'll just call it HP. How many hits they take? Like 8? Even though you have that health bar, you only have 4 hits, so if you take a hit, you're fucked. If you always look up Dark Souls 2, a lot of people think it's a bad. Then you have people defending it why Dark Souls 2 is actually good. I'll play Dark Souls. I've tried some Dark Souls 2. I was like, this seems pretty good. But again, maybe I will find flaws with it later on. Juicy Booch dropping that stealth super chat. But that's the thing is, like, when you look at older Castlevania games, Symphony of the Night became too fucking easy. Love Symphony of the Night, but the reason why it's not in like my top 5 or top 3, I should say, is because when you get too overpowered in there, like if you get missed or you turn into a bat in Castlevania Symphony of the Night, I think that if I said the wrong Castlevania, I apologize. You could just float over everything. That's not a Castlevania game. Yes, the hub world in Dark Souls 2, I love it. I love it. What is a Symphony of the Night? It just, you get too, well, I mean, I guess in any RPG, I guess you could say you could get too overpowered and make it easy. Like, my character in Elden Ring, I mean, I beat the game now, but it has strength of 99. I just did it because I'm like, wait, this Remembrance Sword, because this special attack is the Waves of Gold, and it just annihilates everything in your path. I have not. Who is that one who does a bunch of Elden Ring cartoon shorts? As much as I'm all about fair use, I know how much energy it takes to make cartoons, so I wouldn't watch them. Symphony of the Night is an awesome Castlevania game. Don't get it twisted, but it does get too easy. I agreed with the nerd wholeheartedly when I saw his video on it. I'm like, yeah, it's just like you just float over everything. Super Castlevania 4 will always be my favorite. Bloodlines, yeah, I would say is right behind it. Castlevania 3, I would put Elden Ring right behind that. And round it off with 5. Let me think. I guess you'll put Bloodlines there. No, not Bloodlines. Castlevania 1. Castlevania 4. Yes, and I love them, Jostler. The first one I beat. The second one I didn't like the music as much, so I could... It's weird how the music not being good enough, like, kind of maybe you don't want to play it. I didn't like Simon's Quest. I mean, Simon's Quest, all right, that's strong. That's not true that I didn't like it. I did like it. The problem is that they were starting to toy with the Metroidvania style, and they just didn't nail it yet. I like Rondo a lot. My issue with Rondo, like I always say, is that's when they went towards the anime style. I know a lot of people get pissed at me when I say that. Like, Rich, anime is like, yeah, I know it came from Vampire Hunter D was the inspiration of Castlevania, but they kind of kept it like that medieval European style really until Rondo of Blood, as far as I remember. That's when they changed over to the anime style, and that's I liked it better non-anime. I like it better without the rap music, or not rap music, rock music too. Some people like rock music is great in Castlevania, not to me. The only thing I could say about 4, even though it is my favorite too, is 4 is easy. They changed some things. Like, one of the things that made the challenge of Castlevania great is that, kind of like a Souls game, all of your attacks have to be thought out and be deliberate, even though it's a side-scrolling action platformer. Like, in Super Castlevania 4, all right, if you didn't time your attack properly with your whip, you could do that thing where you jiggle it around. You could whip in 4 different directions. The limitations of the older Castlevania games were actually a feature, not a limitation. Because if you think about it, look at Souls games. Every one of your, it doesn't matter which weapon you have. I mean, it's lighter weapons you could be a little spammy with. But every attack, you have to think about them. And then you get punished if you just spam. The character will, the enemy that you're attacking will punish you. So all of your attacks generally have to be thought out. And that's what I loved about the Castlevania series. I love the music of the Castlevania series. Sans the rock music, sorry. I also like the music of the Souls games. So like that's why I think I'm clicking so much with the Souls games, because they are still to this day, I say they're the spiritual successor to Castlevania. Four gets hard towards the end, but 4, I agree with you, compared to other Castlevanias, is a cakewalk. Yes, I played and beat that. I actually did a review for Blistered Thumbs on Darkness on the Master System. Music was a little generic, but it was actually a good Castlevania clone. I liked it. It was a pleasant surprise. I'm like, damn, this is for the Master System, really? I've been okay. Yeah, I'll get a PS5 Pro. Yeah, but Master of Darkness, if you like Castlevania, you will enjoy that for the Master System. Play it however you can. I sound like SNES drunk or SNES drunk. It's a legal, it's the lawyer's way to say it. Play it however you can. Almost feel like playing some I'm a Souls guy coming to Castlevania. Yeah, like it's like 1 and 3. What's another tough Castlevania game? See, but then they went to Super Castlevania 4. I still highly recommend, even though it's easy for a Castlevania game. The ending gets tougher. Rondo of Blood is badass. I do agree with everybody. It's just the reason why it doesn't make my top 5 list is because that's when it went over to the anime shit. Symphony of the Night is great too, but it is also gets easy because you could level up so much. But then I feel like I'm kind of slighting it, because that's kind of like you could level yourself to the fucking oblivion in a Elden Ring or a Souls game and make it easy too. So maybe that's the issue and I'm just being too hard on it. I want them to make. I always say this. They had the right formula with Castlevania 64. The execution wasn't great, but the concept and foundation was there. They were kind of making a Souls game without even realizing it, and because the sales weren't great, they ran away screaming. Kind of like how EA is running away from Dead Space. I say that all the time. Castlevania could have been Dark Souls. It should have been Dark Souls. I almost knocked over my drink. '64 goof. Like, I love the atmosphere. I remember the nerd complain, it has a lack of music. I'm like, well, look at this. That, again, going back to the Souls games. It kind of makes this dark, stifling atmosphere because you just hear the wind, and they did it with Super Castlevania 64. You just have the sounds of the environment, and then you walk down the path, and then the lightning hits the fucking tree. You know, and they kind of, I'm like, damn, I like this. And then they would have music in the right places, like when you went into the manor or mansion, whatever you want to say. They had that, like, atmospheric music, and it was perfect. Perfect. You know, and it was, you know, that's where I disagreed with the nerd. Where in like, nah, they don't need music every second. Like, okay, the 2D games are different. They're a different animal, but I get where they were going with this. And I did like the first Lords of Shadow game. I actually gave that a review. That was also on Blistered Thumbs. Different times. Then the second one fucking ruined that franchise. Or spin-off, I should say. They just... And it started off so good, too. And then once you get, like, then I'm doing stealth like I'm in Metal Gear. I'm like, what the fuck is this? They're a talented studio. That's the same studio that Nintendo commissioned to make Metroid Dread. So they definitely have talent. You know how I got the... there was an insinuation because it's that Dead Space didn't do the numbers that EA wanted? Because it's on Game Pass. That's how I was like, Yeah, like the first one was so good, and I'm like, look, it wasn't a Castlevania game. It kind of felt like God of War with the Castlevania logo slapped onto it. Let's just, even though Castlevania with the PS2 games started that, those predated God of War, didn't they? But I just love the atmosphere of Castlevania 64. Plenty of flaws. I'll probably agree with every single fucking one of them with you, but they were heading in the right direction and they got scared off because the sales numbers weren't there. Nate is unbanned, so there's your truce. Sir Wendell, thank you for being a member for 5 months, my friend. Almost everything, but I can't. Yeah, like, well, also, too, it was a mixture of the game needed more time in the oven. DBZ. It was that, and that was when 3D was first really becoming a thing. And they just didn't get the mechanics down right yet. Zelda Ocarina of Time was the first one to, of course, Nintendo, was the first one to figure out how to do 3D action in that setting. Juicy Booch dropping the other super chat. Thank you. "3D means three dicks." Congratulations. Because that was the big... If you were around during that era... I'm old as fuck, so of course I was. A lot of the games they were trying to... I remember playing like Nightmare Creatures, for some of you that remember that. And a bunch of other games. Like Mario 64 and Zelda really... There was others too, but those are the standout ones that Nintendo figured out the formula, or were the closest to figuring it out, how to do a 3D world early on. I mean, Mario 64 isn't perfect. You go back and there's some times when you're sitting there with... Because there wasn't... Obviously, you all know this, or most of you know this. There wasn't 2 analog sticks on the N64. Hell, the original PlayStation didn't even have analog sticks. Just had a D-pad. So when you wanted to move the camera around... How the hell am I getting into all this? When you wanted to move the camera around in Mario 64, it was a pain in the balls because you had to move it digitally. So it'd be like, wah, wah. But they still nailed compared to... There were... I remember reading articles that when Nintendo demoed Mario 64... Oh, wow, I'm saying Mario the way people say I should say it. that developers who were making 3D games shelved them because they were like, we can't compete with this. We got to take notes and start over. I'm pretty sure that's accurate. That's how revolutionary. Yep, it killed once 2 cents. There you go. Yep, it killed about 14 games. Yep. Because it was like Nintendo's like, this is how it's done. And you see the ideas that were implemented in like Ocarina of Time and Mario 64, even like go play a Souls game now with the targeting. You know? Stream what? Thank you for your stealthness too. Oh yeah, Patrick Stewart and Robert. Yeah, they had like A-list actors in the first, maybe even in the second Lords of Shadow too. Dude, I remember I got Star Fox 64. Was that the game that came with the Rumble Pack? I think so. And my buddy from Connecticut was staying over for a few days. He used to come and visit. And we came home with Star Fox 64. This is when I was like 15. And he like fell asleep and I like beat it in like 2 hours. The game's pretty easy. Used to play Star Fox 6. It's a fun game. It had the multiplayer too. What's up, Anthony? How are you? Well, what game? I think it was... What came with the expansion pack? I'm trying to think. It was Donkey Kong 64, I think it was. That added 4 more megabytes of RAM. And if you had, it's funny, if you had Perfect Dark, if you didn't have the expansion pack, there was like basically nothing you could do as far as I remember. You could do like the training mode and that was it. I'm doing okay, man. I got a lot of shit going on. Well, I'm not even saying it for like, it's interesting because I'm not saying it to like get people back into old school gaming because I'm not doing any old school gaming right now. But yeah, I would suggest if you like Souls games, I would definitely tell you to try Castlevania 1 and 3 and 4. 4 is the easiest out of those. I would say the first one's the toughest, but many people argue that 3 is the toughest. No, I was not picking my nose. I had a tougher time beating 1. I remember I actually beat 3 before I beat 1 back in the day. 4 is the best music too. Well, it's funny. I always bring up the nerd. Couldn't beat 3. He beat 1. See, if you get to in Castlevania 3 Dracula's Curse, if you have Grant Dynasty as your kind of like a Spirit Ash, if you have Grant, it makes it very easy to kill Dracula's forms, especially if you have the axe. You could just go right through him. So Turok almost got canceled. People loved Turok. I never was into Turok. You know what I think killed me about Turok is there was too much fog. There was too much fog. Like it just like you only saw like 5 feet in front of you.
How about
like
you kiss my
it was like
fucking ass
depressing.
and lick my balls?
Fox McCloud donated $5. Rich, there are actually multiple pathways for progression in Star Fox 64, an easy, medium, and hard path.
Ah.
It's dependent upon your performance and mission achievements, and 2 endings. You should dust it off via emulation and play it on stream sometime.
Oh, well, maybe that's why I beat it so quick. Yeah, I remember, man, like I beat it in like, yeah, it was like an hour and a half, 2 hours. Well, for it, looking back now at Turok, I could see why people were excited for it. You know, it was a big, that was pre-GoldenEye. So to see like fully 3D rendered environments, 3D characters, it's kind of sad because at the time everyone wanted everything to be 3D in game. At least to me, I overlooked games like, Doom 64, which was a great first person. Matter of fact, they remade that. You could buy it on PC and Switch and stuff like that. But that was actually a great, like, it's weird. In my opinion, that aged better than GoldenEye did. I don't think anyone would disagree with that. I've never played Paper Mario. I had no idea I was going to come on here and just stream and chat tonight. Very bizarre. I haven't straight up done a chatting stream. I mean, I've had moments, but where it was, like intro guy was here. I think that was the last time. I've never played Dino Crisis. That was Capcom that made that, right? See, I've never been into turn-based combat. I feel like turn-based combat is I don't know. I remember like when Final Fantasy VII came out, and that was turn-based combat. I remember everyone was freaking out about Final Fantasy VII, and I'm just like, eh. But everyone's different. Man, that game made the PlayStation. That's for shit sure. Because that was actually going to come out for the N64. Where am I getting to all these stories? And then they were just like, we can't do it the way we want to on cartridge. See ya. I didn't even know I had to fart. It just kind of happened. But everyone's different. People like the fact that you have to have strategy in turn-based combat. You have to pick the right weapon, know the enemy's weaknesses. You know, I'm just an idiot. Well, what was funny is that isn't technically Symphony of the Night, because the PS1 wasn't great at 2D, which is why fighting games were always superior on the Saturn. Isn't technically Symphony of the Night 3D? They just have it on a 2D plane. I think I read that somewhere. I don't know where all this shit's coming from. Yeah, so it wasn't 2.5D, it was 2D, but it was like on a it was explained somewhere because PlayStation wasn't great at 2D, the original one, the PSX, I used to call it back in the day, PS1. So Konami did something. I don't know. Maybe they didn't use flame. Yeah, the 3D on the PS1. one though, especially there's a name for it where the textures warp as they get closer to you. Is that Z buffering maybe? The N64 didn't do it, but the N64's weakness is it had no texture cache. I 100% was. Me and my friend Tim were calling a PSX back in the day. Swear to God. 100%. Yeah, which is amazing because the Saturn is actually superior at handling 2D, and the port of Symphony of the Night was inferior for it. You're playing Legacy of Kain games. I remember my friend Tim, speaking of my friend Tim, he was big into Legacy of Kain. And I liked it. It was okay. It was fine. Well, then you had Bernie Stoller, who was, I mean, he did good for the Dreamcast in the beginning, but he was such an idiot. Like, the Saturn was still, they were like knee deep in the Saturn, and you have the president of Sega of America saying the Saturn's not our future. Why would any developer or consumer invest a penny into it knowing that? Like, think about it. If someone says to you, this product is not our future, why would you buy it unless it was a fire sale or something? Wasn't Legacy of Kain on the Dreamcast too? They improved it. Pretty sure it was. Yeah, he passed away relatively recently too. He did do good with the Dreamcast pushing it. He worked for PlayStation too. He was the one who got what was that early on fighting game, which did suck, but you played it anyway because it was there. Battle Arena Toshinden. How the fuck did I remember that name? Oh my God, he's drinking wheelchair donations. Yeah, but they came out with that for the Dreamcast. Remember Crazy Taxi for the Dreamcast? I remember working at the car wash, and I picked that up. Crazy Taxi! It was okay. A lot of people love that game. I like it. It sometimes the style, how stylistic it is, wears on me after a while. Nope, no email back about that BIOS. It's fun, but the whole like energy of it after a while kind of grates on me. But I could play. I still enjoy it. I would play it now. Yeah, Battle Arena. That I think they only ran at 30 frames too. Battle Arena, and then like I always used to use that character. She had a whip. Pulse Attack is fucking here. How are you, dude? God, Power Stone. I remember how I don't think I ever bought Power Stone, but I played the demo. I liked it. I didn't like it enough to buy it though. I was too into Soul Calibur at the time. We used to play with Kalik. I remember everyone like me, granted, I wasn't playing online back then. I remember just bodying anybody who played me. But, you know, that was before online. Now, God, I'm so old. I remember intro guy got into games for a little bit. And that was like the first game he bought. Cruising, yeah, yeah. Cruising USA, yeah. Driving mechanics are weird in that too. That's when Nintendo was tricking people, like that Killer Instinct, the arcade version. That the N64 version was exactly the same. It wasn't. No, I don't smoke anything, man. No smoking for me. There was that weird Midway 3D fighter. They were trying to make it like a Mortal Kombat, or it was very violent. It was only for the N64 too. Well, yeah, Coops. Nintendo was making it like the Killer Instinct arcade game was, when they ported it to the N64, was going to be exactly the same. That did not happen. No, there was BioFreaks. There you go, BioFreaks. No, there was Mortal Kombat for the N64. Or was it Mace the Dark Ages? God damn it. I think it was that one. Yeah, the N64 didn't really have great fighting games. The PS1 really was where you went to for fighting games. I did not expect to come here and just be talking tonight, but here I am. I had Descent on PC, Jostler. I used to play that on my 60 megahertz Pentium. It chugged through it, but it was playable. Go piss real quick. I'll be right back. What a weird stream.
Tipsters sucked me off for years.
You know what's weird is I was disappointed with the N64 later on. See, I kind of thought like Nintendo was going to have it in the bag. And then I realized how much of a drawback it was having cartridges. It's still amazing that they fit Resident Evil 2, the full game with FMV, granted heavily compressed, but with FMV, onto a 64 megabyte and 64 cartridges, both discs. Isn't that crazy? That was a technical. Yeah, that was a technical feat, man. And it was actually mostly improved visually, too. Why do I remember Dark Riff? Yeah, that was actually... Isn't that part of Rockstar that ended up doing that port? For the N64 of Resident Evil 2? Oh, yeah, they had a great port of... They had a great port of Resident Evil 2 on the Dreamcast. Resident Evil 2 was... It started on PS1, N64, Dreamcast. Well, now, if you want to do the remake, it's fucking everywhere. I never liked Code Veronica. I don't know, it just felt weird. Have I played San Francisco Rush? I think so. I remember I played, obviously, Castlevania. I played the shit out of Super Mario 64. I beat that. Pilot Wings, I remember it wasn't great, Pilot Wings 64, but it was... I mean, the launch of the N64, we only had Super Mario 64 and Pilot Wings. That was it. So you either... And what were you going to get if you got an N64? You know what I mean? Come on. First video game I ever played was Super Mario World or Spider-Man based on a 90s cartoon by LJN. Well, I'm sorry about that one. But Super Mario World was incredible. Well, you're not that young then if that was your first game. Oh, Pilot Wings for the N6 for SNES, I played the fuck out of. I still enjoy that game. A lot of people decry that that was a tech demo for the SNES, which it kind of was with the Mode 7 stuff. I get it. You could also say that about F-Zero, but they're both still amazing games. MK Trilogy for SNES. I didn't like Super Mario 3. Not that I didn't like it. That's a strong word. I didn't think it was the masterpiece. Wave Race was really good. Wave Race still holds up to this day. It's a great... The water physics, especially for their time, were fucking unreal. They still kind of hold up to this day. If you watch Digital Foundry on that, they show how they got, I mean, having that kind of water physics natively back then would be mind-boggling. You're 32. That makes sense. But yeah, Dylan Nash, me too. Not only is it a technical feat for the N64, it's still a really fun race. It's still one of the best fucking jet ski racing games out there to this day, in my opinion. Yeah, there's just something about Super Mario World. I could sit there and play that for hours to this day. What's going on, Den of Tims? I've played Hydra City. I still like Mario Kart 64. That was the last one I played the fuck out of. That was fun. That was where Rainbow Road was first introduced. Am I right? Wave Race. And I remember that you had the practice zone. And then there was 1080 snowboarding. This is a weird stream, but I don't care. I'm going with it. 1080 snowboarding was banging. I used to hate the music, though, so I used to turn off the music. You would just hear the sound effects, like the wind and like going through the snow. I loved it that way. Oh, Mario Kart and the SNES. Well, I'm an asshole. I'm wrong. I played a lot of that, too. I'm surprised I didn't know that. Well, Ash, if you could play 1080 snowboarding, I still think it's a good game to this day. That was one thing where the extra hardware grunt of the N64 with games like Wave Race. I mean, I tried finally. There was Jet Moto. That was kind of like their answer to Wave Race for the PlayStation 1. That fucking shit's garbage. I remember the first time beating Custer's Revenge as a kid. I had no idea what the game... Wait, really? Stop. Stop. Are you kidding? Yeah, the announcer was a little annoying. Keep going. But the game was still fucking amazing, though. Some of the best... one of the best racing games, in my opinion, I've ever played. Dirt 5 I just use for going into racing games. I just use that for a benchmark. I love NBA Jam, dude. Love NBA Jam. I gotta figure out where the fuck my phone is. There could be like someone trying to call me right now and I have no fucking idea. I used to play NBA Jam on the Sega Genesis all the time. Love that shit, dude. Of course they do. I just think Capcom saw like the fighting community going more towards the PlayStation and the Saturn. And a lot of companies, it was more expensive for companies to get their games manufactured and produced on cartridges than it was on discs. It was significantly cheaper on discs. The story of where we are now would have been much different if, I think anyway, this is speculation, if the N64 had a disk drive or CD-ROM drive. I'm not saying that PlayStation wouldn't have been successful. I still think it would have been. I don't think the delta in between the sales figures would have been the same, though. A lot of games, like I said, Final Fantasy VII was supposed to come out for the N64. But because of the cartridge format, they were like, nah. Why are you bored? Miss you. Love you, man. Feels like a relaxing pandemic stream. Yeah, I feel like if only Intro Guy was here. I haven't done a stream. I mean, I've had moments where I'm like, all right, guys, we're going to chill. I'm going to end the stream relatively soon when I'm talking. I've talked for, holy shit, 3 hours. Damn, I didn't even realize it, man. I do have the gift of gab. Mari's getting hungry, so there we go. Terrence talk dirty to you. Yes, Fear, I've played mouse and keyboard. I played mouse and keyboard with CSGO, too. Donald Trump. That's weird to say, but yes. Those are the two games that I played. I used to play a decent amount of CSGO for some reason. Sucked at it, though, in case anyone's shocked. I love Donkey Kong Country 1, played the shit out of it, beat it. I never touched any other Donkey Kong Country game, though. It's very weird. That's probably when I thought I was too cool to play video games. You had a spicy buffalo chicken sandwich. Was it pulsating, Turbo Express? If it wasn't pulsating, then you shouldn't have eaten it. You know what's funny? Now you have me thinking about Phil. You know what's funny is that Phil was bitching about that chicken sandwich, but that dip that his wife made, which could be perfectly fine, but if you're going by looks, which was his big problem with the chicken sandwich, that looked like someone threw up in a bowl. But that was okay. Uh-oh, I'm seeing messages here. Anyway. Yeah. Who dedicated that fart to me? Who farted? Dude, and that's what, like, he's eating that dip, and it's like, oh, it's I'm like, but dude, you're all worried about appearance, but the chicken sandwich is okay. It's just such a bizarre thing. But he has to appease his wife. That's why. You know, they like, she is just like Phil, because she was watching when he was talking about his handheld treats. I guess he went to go take a shit or something. And then he comes back. He's like, my wife was telling me people were criticizing her food. So what? Who cares? And I'm going to start banning people. Where are you from, Scott Defoe? You don't have to be specific. Are you from... Yeah, I do need more streams like this. And gaming streams. I would fire up more Elden Ring right now, but I got my kids coming tomorrow. They are staying overnight. I'm looking forward to it, actually. The texture cache, Gabe, if you're talking about the N64, was super tiny. Well, I played a new character where I'm building up strength only, but people are already telling me that they'll run away screaming if I play Elden Ring. Not that I'm actually streaming for that much longer, but... Yeah, this is like an old school stream, man. I'll play the game another time, too, because like I said, my kids, I'm going to be getting them like 11-ish. So I don't want to be up until 2 in the morning. What do I not care or not care about? Because I'll start playing and then... Yeah, I mean... I think I have... I hate saying gift, because that sounds like I'm jerking myself off, but I can talk. Like, I'm not one of those streamers that just looks at the chat and waits for something to respond to. I mean, obviously, you guys say something like, hey, someone starts talking about Castlevania 64, which got me on a tangent. But, like, I could have a conversation and not be dependent and just sit there where it's like... I see a lot of streamers do that, dude. A lot. And it's so... Wait, someone did open my door. Or did I never close it? That fucking Phil is creeping me out. Well, no, it's... I am... Man, I hope Intro Guy moves back to the east. There's a chance he might. And I would just pay him per stream. I am your king. I am so sorry. Wait. Black Popeye, is he making cartridges of that? That would be interesting. Not only would I want it personally, but that would be an awesome video. Yes, I would have a place for intro guy. Yes, I would. DL5. That's why I would pay him per diem. Like if he streamed one night, he would be paid right after. That's how we did it. So it's done. So if he wants to not stream again for another fucking 5 years, okay. No, I mean, I have someone doing clips on this channel. But no, I wouldn't do where it was like a setup that I had before. Because eventually fallouts happen, man. You know, whether they're public or not, it's inevitable. He's doing good, intro guy. Yeah, he'll sleep on the top bunk and fall through it. Well, because they don't sell DSP. I would have to get one custom made. I don't even know if that's a thing. I'm sure it is. Stream a flow of diarrhea onto your chest. Yeah. Like, what is the Fallout patch really going to do? I mean, I'm sure it's going to make it 60. Are they going to get native 4K? Better textures, 4K. This generation is so fucking weird. Last of Us Remastered, that was 8th gen. Last of Us Remake. Last of Us 2 Remastered. Oh, God. Make a new fucking game. Oh, every company who does that. I'm not just singling out Sony. Yeah, the ray tracing performance, which I guess like RDNA 2 was with graphics cards always lost out to NVIDIA with ray tracing performance. So why did we? But the consoles were adequate when they came out, but I guess because RDNA 2 didn't handle. Well, isn't technically the PS5 like RDNA 1 and change? It's technically not. It's like RDNA 1 with some RDNA 2 features. Not that it really makes a fucking difference, but problem is that the ray tracing performance was meh. And they also, I think they overestimated what they were going to get for resolutions. Fucking putting 8K on the PlayStation box. Rich, that's clickbait talking about that, making fun of that. No, it's not. Why are you putting it there? But it's true, Rich. No, it's not. Okay, it could output at 8K. It could have an 8K, whatever pixels by whatever pixels 8K is. I don't remember off the top of my head. You're not play. There's no game being rendered at 8K on a PlayStation 5 or a Series X. Actually, isn't that not true? Isn't there like one simplistic game that does run at 8K? We need a remake of Genital Jousting. Do you realize that was one of the first games that was Steam Deck certified? I shit you not. Look it up. Like someone said, yes, this game full of gummy penises that are brightly colored works on Steam Deck. Let's go. I think there's like one game for the Series X that actually runs at 8K because it's like simple. I mean, for fuck's sake, my 4090 would have a real tough time running shit at 8K. I remember, I think he got a sponsorship, but I remember MKB HD during the 3090 when that just dropped. He was playing a game in 8K. I'm like, could everyone stop with the 8K shit? Could we get the consoles aren't even hitting 4K natively most times anyway. Beat him and eat him. Then they wonder why the video game industry crashed. Hey, let's make a game about a bunch of guys jerking off on a roof while naked women swallow their sperm. That is the game. It was for the Atari 2600. There were guys jerking off on a roof and coming, and the women had to catch the cum. And then there was General Custer's Revenge, which was racist, and he was raping a woman because she was tied up and yeah, I guess you could say that. I mean, but shit, they sometimes have to do dynamic resolution at 1440p. Well, Fartman Izzy, wasn't that Howard Stern? What is Catzilla having fun with? See, when I do this too, it's easier to keep up with all of the chat. Yeah, 8K is dude, I could still if every game was at 1080p 100, okay. 14 I could deal with 1440p 60 minimum, 1440p 120 preferred. If they could just give me 1440p 60 native with no fucking trickery, no DLS, well actually DLSS is pretty good, then I'd be happy. What am I seeing here? Oh, just everyone saying birds. Yeah, if they could give me a solid 1440 60 and they could, hey, add that ray tracing in there with if the PS5 Pro could give me 1440 60 with ray tracing, fine. I'm happy. And then turn ray tracing off and give me 120. Well, I got this monitor here, but I got that before my daughter got sick, and that's why I never reviewed it, I think. I got a $99 1080p 165 hertz monitor. Yeah, I'm going to review that. That's fucking insane. How's Dr. Phil? Every time I hear him thump and look behind me, it's like I feel like he's here. Like the Nick Cage one looks like a printout. This one looks like a large man is behind me. I mean, I guess that's the point, but trace the rays on the sides of my asshole. That is so weird, you got to get an applause. So that's pretty cool. I don't know why, but like I said, I meant to do that. Yeah, that put a lot of stuff to the side. There's this OLED curved monitor I see every time at the mall, and I'm like, yeah, no, you were not spending $1,000 on a fucking monitor. That's for shit sure. There is a remake of Custer's Revenge. Of course there is. I like DLSS. Why is the pug barking? I mean, I like fidelity effects because with the integrated graphics, which AMD has integrated graphics in a chokehold, there's no one who comes near them with integrated graphics. So fidelity effects works great for that. But is it behind DLSS? Oh my God. In spades. In spades. You need to stop playing games where someone's masturbating on a roof and coming in a woman's mouth. I mean, personally to me, when it comes to desktop GPUs, like a conventional dedicated GPU, I'm more a fan of Intel. Not Intel. Fuck me. I know they make GPUs now too, but NVIDIA. But what I like is for the integrated graphics is that Fidelity Effects helps a lot. But is Fidelity Effects inferior to DLSS? Absolutely. Here for you, Dad. Let's go. Thank you. I appreciate that, Foil Grim. Phil Cernell, I agree with you. LG OLED is not great. It looks beautiful, but playing video games on a TV belongs in the past. Why? TVs are 4K 120. $1,600 for your monitor. Okay, dude. Holy shit. I'm almost tempted to buy like a mid-range ARC GPU. I would almost, if John's still here, he would probably free. I'm almost tempted to buy my old rig. Not buy it, but I would buy like the 5960X with the motherboard and like put an Intel Arc GPU in there and just see how it performs in 2023, 24. Yeah, Jeffrey, I've seen the monitor. It's at Best Buy. It's sick. What's close to your... I had a 5700 XT, or do I still have it? I might still have it. Yeah, where is Plumbers Don't Wear Ties? Yes, I need to play that. That would make for an amazing stream. I wonder if my only fear about even buying it for a review, buying a mid-range or buying an Intel Arc GPU is, are they going to stay in the GPU game? You know what I mean? Like, are they going to be like, because they're no longer making those NUC computers, which I kind of understand because Minis Forum and all the other companies bodied them. You know, there's so many people who just like leapfrogged over Intel with their small GPUs. Oh, that's good. Their 13th and 14th gen chips are failing. All right, let's look at James Rolfe hair in the new video. People have been talking about this. Oh, look, there's Phil. He's gonna take you back to the past. My horse prince? What? Are you seeing it? Did I switch? Yes. All right, let's see.
Have you ever found yourself endlessly searching your streaming apps for something to watch and finding nothing
You know my deal.
that catches your eye? I know I have, and even did a video about that once.
Yeah, small part of me's tempted to fuck with FL Studio. Then I realized that I need to learn the Mark 404 Mark II first.
With a little help from my friend ExpressVPN, though, those days will be long behind you. ExpressVPN is the ultimate skeleton key that unlocks the door to the streaming content typically hidden from your geolocation. Apps like Netflix and Disney Plus hide content from you based on the country you're in, but with ExpressVPN, you can just switch your location to another country like the UK, and within seconds, the movie you've been trying to find this whole time will appear. And with over 100 countries to pick from worldwide, you're guaranteed to find the movies you're looking for, all in beautiful high definition and without any buffering. Whether it's the biggest action movies out of Hollywood like John Wick Consequences, only available in Japan, or the horror classics near and dear to my heart, only streaming in Australia, I never have to worry about finding exactly what I need with ExpressVPN. Find out
What were with those unnecessary edits? They make no sense.
how you can get yourself 3 months of ExpressVPN for free by going to expressvpn.com/cinemassacre.
I'm not going to watch the whole episode. I just want to see.
Below.
You've probably seen my old cellular telephone. It's a little bit out of date, so I decided it's about time. So I got myself...
Yeah, dude, what are you doing?
a new phone. Yeah, I guess it's a phone because it's also a camera. Yeah, how crazy is that? And you could...
What are the comments, you know? You can feel the soul coming out of his body when he says these lines. He's covering a mobile game? I didn't know Vosh made a dating simulation. James's hairline is as strong as my mental health. Barely existing, but hanging in there. Well, he does have 2 kids, so he probably is always tired. I feel like they both... This should have been an April Fool's joke. I'm trying to see. Dating with that Vosh lie was amazing. Yeah, I don't really... Like, the thing I don't understand, too, is he had the money. Why didn't you get, like, the hair transplant, dude? If your character is dependent on it. You know what I mean? It's just a strange thing to me. Like, you have the money to do it. Your character... I mean, maybe he's just his choice. He didn't want to. But, you know, trying to do that to me just doesn't look right. You know? He should have either shaved his head or got the plugs. Like, it just looks like he... Chia. I want to see a different angle of it. All right. This looks fucking bizarre. Whoa.
Win. Oh no. Oh shit, my battery's almost dead.
Oh, I got a charge. Got a charge.
Where's those chargers? Where's these fucking chargers? Don't die, don't die. Come on. Here we go.
Yeah, the hair is just not working and it doesn't need to eat. Like, dude, just shave it, man. Shave it and grow a beard. Grow into the new era of the nerd. People are like, Rich, do you wish you had hair? Hell no. I just want to shave it off. I would have, even if I had a full head of hair, it would still look like this anyway. Fuck that shit. No way. Oh, wow. I've been streaming for 3.5 hours. I didn't even realize it. Yeah, I need to stop streaming because I got to get my kids in the morning. And I want to do some cleaning up downstairs first. So I have all, like, because I'm setting up the save money for next time, and I'll do a goal when I don't have children to attend to. I appreciate you all coming through. I appreciate you all spending the time with me. The support, as always, is amazing, and I genuinely appreciate it. You guys keep the show going, and you're allowing me to experiment on the main channel and get my stride back. If it wasn't for you, I'd be working at the post office. Have a great evening. And that's actually the truth. That's not a joke. Have a good one.